So, let's proceed to the section 4, which is the definition of terms. For purpose of this act, the following shall mean voluntarism refers to an act involving a wide range. When we say a wide range of activities, it is malawak siya. Hindi siya specific or it is a wide or a broad range of activities. So, including the traditional forms of mutual and development intervention that provides an enabling empowerment environment both on the part of the beneficiary receiving and volunteer rendering the act undertaken for reason arising from social development, business, and corporate orientation. So, commitment or conviction for the attainment of public good and where monetary and other incentives and reward are not primary motivating factors. So, volunteer refers to individual or group who reason arising their social development. Kunwari, why? Bakit may mga taong nagvo-volunteer? Because they want to give a solution to a particular object. Let's say, there's this flooding na naganap like last year and even last months, few months ago. So, yung mga tao na nagvo-volunteer, it is called voluntarily. They volunteer to give relief good, they volunteer to give clothes, they volunteer to give service such as paglilinis sa mga kalsada, sa mga kanal, sa ilog. That is part of the voluntary in definition of terms. So, volunteer service organization refers to a local or foreign group that recruits, trains, deploys, and support volunteers work to programs project implemented by other organization or any group that provides service or resources, including but not limited to information capability building, advocacy, networking, and attainment of the common good. So, when you are advocate of greener future, when we say greener future, to have a beautiful world in the next generation, to have a bright future, then if may mga bagyo, sakuna, o sunog, o tsunami ba, or anong calamities lindol, then if you are advocate, if your advocacy is about our earth, our mother earth, then yung mga bagay na patungkol doon, pwede mong tulungan, pwede ka mag-volunteer to help. Let's for example, you're advocate of sustainability. Then yung mga plastic sa mga ilog, you voluntarily get it, or kunin yun, ilagay, or maglinis ba, yun. It is what we call. So, let's proceed to the section 7, the role of the government. So, the role of the government shall coordinate, facilitate, and encourage the participation of the voluntary sectors of the promotion, utilization, and recognition of volunteers in national development and international cooperation. This shall be achieved through the provision of enabling and conducive environment for volunteer work. So, yung government natin plays a vital role for us because they are the one who's coordinate, who's managing to facilitate and encourage the participation. Let's say, to illustrate it, kunwari, may boto. Sila yung nag-facilitate if kung sino yung bobotohin natin, they are not the one kasi volunteer tayo magboto. Like, sila yung nagbibigay ng opportunity sa atin para bumoto. to have a good environment or community. That would be all. Thank you. So, it is simply mean na yung mga CWTS students or the LTS students will become a member of the National Service Reserve Corps. You can tap by the state's literacy and civic welfare, especially times of calamities. Kunwari, may mga sunog, baha, like last month, few months ago, we encounter or we face calamities, yung flooding. And the CWTS and the LTS students are there to help, to give a service, such as pagbibigay nila ng mga aros kaldo, paglilinis, pagtulong sa linis ng mga baha, ganun. Yun ang mga ginagawa ng mga CWTS and the LTS students. While yung ROTC students naman will be part of the Citizen Armed Force, a reserve force to be utilized in times of war. Kunwari, as I have said earlier, kunwari, may gera. Sila, yung mga ROTC students ay andun para suportahan or tulungan ang mga armed force. So, and also, tumutulong din sila kapag may mga rescues, pag kunwari, kaya ng kargahin, buhatin ba, ganun, tinutulungan nila, like kunwari, may nasunugan, tas may na-fracture na tao, then kakargahin nila, then ilalagay nila sa ambulansya. That is the help of our OTC in our community. So, by now, you must have realized that the heart of NSTP is a service. Yes, service. Service to your fellow men. However, before you can claim to have helped other people improve the quality of their lives, rather, you must begin with yourself as a student, as a son or daughter, and as a citizen. So, before you can claim to have helped other people improve the quality of their lives, you should help yourself first. Tulungan mo yung sarili mo. Mag-training ka, do something, or know yourself better. As a student, you need to learn. As a son, you need to be responsible. And as a citizens, you need to give your full heart to your community. And by knowing that, or by getting that, you can also give to others. In additional, bakit tinuturuan ng mga LTS students ang mga uneducated people para hindi basta-basta maloko or not easily to manipulate by people that surround with that person? Yes, kasi it's really easy to manipulate or to underestimate that person who is not educated enough. Kaya, the LTS provide the literacy training service para turuan ang mga uneducated people. So, let's proceed to the third components program, which is the ROTC, which means the Reserve Officers Training Corps, or the ROTC, which is designed to provide military training to tertiary level students in order to motivate, train, organize, and mobilize them for national defense preparedness. So, ano-ano ang ginagawa ng mga ROTC students? Ito yung mga pagpupush up, yung pagja-jogging, yan yung mga ginagawa ng ROTC students. It is a preparedness for the national defense. Why? Kasi the students or the skills being developed among the cadets are military leadership, basic combat. Ito yung mga ginagawa ng mga ROTC. Basic combat, map reading, military intelligence, artillery operation, unconventional welfare, march, and biovac training. So, yung mga ROTC, kunwari, may gera. Kunwari, nagigera na yung Philippines at China, for instance. So, yung mga ROTC students, sila yung humihila sa mga natamaan na sundalo sa atin. Also, why they are trained to ROTC so that they can be prepared kung ano man ang mangyayari sa ating bansa. There are the assets. Yes, there are the assets of the military. So, pwede din sila tumulong sa mga hospital, kunwari, may mga pasyente or kailangan buhatin or kunwari, may nasunugan. Sila andun, nagre-rescue sila, tinutulungan nila yung mga sundalo, kargahin yung mga tao, ilagay sa mga ambulance or what. So, these are the 3 components program of the NSTP. So, NSTP are required to all incoming freshman students and male and female enrolled in any baccalaureate and at least 2-year technical, vocational, or associate courses are required to complete one NSTP component of their choice. As graduation requirement, all Filipino students are mandatory to take NSTP, and it is a compulsory 1-year course for all freshmen and universities and college of the country. Bakit? Why? Why it is mandatory to give NSTP to all the freshman students, the first year students? Why? It is simply because when we step to first year or when we step to the first year college, ito yung day na we are legal na. This is the day that we are now 18 years old. Why? They are doing it so that it is a preparation, it is a training for us to open our eye to the reality. Yes. Upon completion, either CWTS or LTS, you will become a member of the National Service Training Corps. You can be tapped by the state of literacy and the civic welfare training activities, especially in times of calamities, disasters. On the other hand, those who take up ROTC will be part of Citizens Armed Force Reserve for first utilized in times of war, rebellion, or invention. They can also be of help by assisting in relief, rescue, or other calamities. So,
Preamble. What is preamble? Came from the Latin words preambulus, is meaning to walk before it. Serve as an introduction to give a reader an idea of what expect of the Constitution. It is a prologue of this Constitution. It is purpose to promote effective industrializations and name for the full employment of the people. All natural resources with the Philippines territory shall be owned by the states and it is to protect the rights of the indigenous of culture community. It is clustered into 4 groups focusing on the 4 Filipinos value: maka-Diyos, maka-tao, the makabayan, and the makakalikasan. Love for God or pagka-maka-Diyos, faith in the Almighty, recognize their unique faith in God, to affirm each unique gift and how they can continue to live a life of faith in God. It is to know, to love, to follow the Christ in the church He founded. Faith in our personal knowledge of God is Christ expressed their particular beliefs and specific truth by which we adhere to Christ. Respect for life, realize the relevance of human dignity in their lives, to be stewards of life. You need to be able to respect yourself as an individual, your dignity, and also to respect other people, their life. Order. Identify the significance of the value of order in your lives and nation building apply orderliness and health of body and mind of the people for unity and peace of the community. Concern for the family and your future generation, deeper appreciation of the values of a family. Assist your own family values, like a deeper appreciation of family values. Concern for the family future generation involves making decisions and taking action that benefit both current and future members of a family. This can include the variety of activities aimed at ensuring their well-being and creating a better future for them. This action demonstrates concern for this family future by providing financial foundation that can help the children achieve their higher education and better career opportunities. Additionally, the parent might also work ensure that the family live in safe and healthy environment which further support a long-term well-being of their children and future generations. Citizenship training bills of rights, duties, and responsibilities of Filipino citizens. The idea of citizenship training is to promote a sense of belongingness among the teenagers and also to give them understanding of how the country in which they live, govern, and run as well as how the democracy works. There are various benefits or things you will learn in this citizenship training. Work. Appreciate the value of work. Identify the significance of work and labor of one's life. Through work and labor, individuals acquire new skills and experience that contribute to their personal professional development. This ongoing growth can open doors to new opportunities and career advancement. Citizenship training, the bills of rights and the duties and responsibilities of a Filipino citizen. Citizenship training is a program designed to help you to become more aware of your responsibilities, rights, and rules in society. The main goal is to help you to understand how to be a good citizen and how to contribute positively to your community and country. Programs like the National Service Training Program or the NSTP encourage young people to develop a sense of service, meaning they are taught to care about their country and fellow citizens. Citizenship training, the bills of rights and the duties and responsibilities of a Filipino citizen. Citizenship training is a program designed to help you to become more aware of your responsibilities, rights, and rules in the society. The main goal is to help you to understand how to be a good citizen and how to contribute positively to your community and country. Programs like the National Service Training Program or the NSTP encourage young people to develop a sense of service, meaning they are taught to care about their country and fellow citizens.
So hi, good day everyone. My name is Karen Rodriguez and I'll be the one to explain the preamble of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. So the 1987 Constitution is the supreme law of the Philippines. It outlines how the government should run and what right and responsibilities citizens have. So since June 12, 1898, the Proclamation of Independence, there have been a total of 6 Philippine Constitution. So the first one is the Malolos Constitution, 1898 to 1901, First Philippine Constitution, First Republican Constitution in Asia, Philippine Organic Act of 1902 and the Philippine Autonomy Act of 1916 and 1902 to 1935. So the Philippine Organic Act of 1902 provide a Philippine Assembly composed of Filipino citizens, while the Philippine Autonomy of Act of 1908. So the Philippine Organic Act of 1902 provided a Philippine Assembly composed of Filipino citizens, while the Philippine Autonomy Act of 1916 included the first pledge of Philippine independence. Commonwealth and Third Republic 1935 Constitution, 1935 to 1943, and 1945 to 1972. The United States Congress in 1934 passed the Philippines Independence Act that paved the way of the creation of a constitution for the Philippines. Through the 1934 Constitutional Convention, a draft of the Constitution for the Philippines was produced, so it was ratified through a rational plebiscite on May 14, 1935. On November 15, 1935, with the inauguration of Commonwealth of the Philippines, the Constitution was fully implemented and enforced. Part of its provision states the said Constitution will remain in effect once independence was declared on July 4, 1946. In 1940, the National Assembly of the Philippines, part of its provision states the said Constitution will remain in effect once independence was declared on July 4, 1946. So in 1940, the National Assembly of the Philippines amended the Constitution from having a unicameral assembly to a bicameral Congress and changing the term limit of the President from 6 years with no re-election to 4 years with a possibility of re-election for a second term. So in 1945, the Constitution was again observed with the liberation of the country. So Japanese-sponsored Republic, Second Republic, 1943 Constitution, 1943 to 1945. So the Japanese-sponsored government nullified the Constitution during World War II. So the government created a preparatory committee on Philippine independence to replace the Constitution. So the new Constitution was used by the administration under President P. Laurel. Martial Law Constitution 1973 Constitution 1973 to 1986. During the regime of President Ferdinand Marcos, a constitutional convention was formed to amend the 1935 Constitution. Through the presidential Decree number 86, 1972, the creation of a citizen assembly to ratify a draft constitution by means of a viva voce in place of secret ballots. President Marcos announced the ratification and its effectivity on January 17, 1973. Although there were several opposition to its ratification, the 1973 Constitution was deemed valid and was enforced. Freedom Constitution 1987 Constitution 1987 is the present. The second one is the Philippine Organic Act of 1902 and Philippine Autonomy Act of 1916. 1902 to 1935. The Philippine Organic Act of 1902 provided a Philippine Assembly composed of Filipino citizens, while the Philippine Autonomy Act of 1916 included the first pledge of Philippine independence. So the third one is the Commonwealth and Third Republic. 1935 Constitution, 1935 to 1943, and 1945 to 1970. The United States Congress in 1934 passed the Philippine Independence Act that paved the way to the creation of a constitution for the Philippines. Through the 94 Constitutional Convention, a draft of the Constitution for the Philippines was produced. So it was ratified through a national plebiscite on May 14, 1935. On November 15, 1935, with the inauguration of the Commonwealth of the Philippines, the Constitution was fully implemented and enforced. Part of its provision states that the said Constitution will remain in effect once independence was declared on July 4, 1946. So since June 12, 1898, Proclamation of Independence, there have been a total of 6 Philippine Constitutions. So the first one is the Malolos Constitution, 1898 to 1901. So first Philippine Constitution. This is the first Philippine Constitution and the first Republican Constitution in Asia. So the fourth one is the Japanese-sponsored Republic, Second Republic, 1943 Constitution, 1943 to 1945. The Japanese-sponsored government nullified the Constitution during World War II. The government created a preparatory committee on Philippine independence to replace the Constitution. The new constitution was used by the administration under President Jose P. Laurel. In 1940, the National Assembly of the Philippines amended the constitution from having a unicameral assembly to a bicameral Congress and changing the term limit of the president from 6 years with no re-election to 4 years with a possibility of re-election for a second term. In 1945, the Constitution was again observed with the liberation of the country. So the last one is the Freedom Constitution, 1987 Constitution, 1987 to present. After martial law and the democracy was restored, President Corazon Aquino issued the suspension of several provisions in the 1973 Constitution and promulgated a transitory Constitution through Proclamation Number 3. So the Constitutional Commission was created by Proclamation Number 9, 1986, and was tasked to write a new chapter to replace the previous Constitution. The national plebiscite for the new Constitution was held on February 2, 1987. Then on February 11, 1987, by virtue of Proclamation Number 58, the new Constitution was ratified. So the fifth one is the Martial Law Constitution, 1973 Constitution, 1973 to 1986. During the regime of President Ferdinand Marcos, a constitutional convention was formed to amend the 1935 Constitution. Through the Presidential Decree Number 86, the creation of Citizen Assembly to ratify a draft constitution by means of a viva voce in place of secret ballots. President Marcos announced the ratification and its effectivity on January 17, 1973. Although there were several oppositions to its ratification, the 1973 Constitution was deemed valid and was enforced. So that's the preamble and the Constitution promote. First is love for God or pagkakamaka-Diyos, faith, respect for life, order, hard work, and caring for the family. Second is love for fellow men, pagkakamakatao. So love, freedom, peace, truth, and justice. Third one is the love for our country, pagkakamakabayan, unity, equality, respect for laws, patriotism, and promoting the common good. And the last one is the love for the environment, the pagkakamalikasan, concern and care for our environment. Love for God or pagkakamakadiyos, faith in Almighty. So recognize their unique faith in God, to affirm each unique gift and how they can contribute to live a life of faith in God. Second is respect for life. Realize the relevance of human dignity in their lives, to be stewards of life. Order. Identify the significance of the value or of order in your lives and in nation building. Apply orderliness in health of body and mind of the people for unity and peace of the community. Work. Appreciate the value of work. Identify the significance of work and labor of one's life. Concern for the work. Appreciate the value of work. Identify the significant work and labor of one's life, concern for the family and future generation. Deeper appreciation of the values of family and assess your own family values. The second one is the pagkakamakatao, love for fellow men. Love real essence of love and how can truly be applied. Peace. Ways by which people can promote the value of peace in their homes. Truth. It is not right. Do not do it. If it is truth. If it is not right, so do not do it. If it is not true, of course, do not say it. So truth. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This was stated by Marcus Aurelius. So important of truth in one's life, its role in national development and building more just and human society. Justice. Relevant social issues that highlights the value of justice. So the last one is the law for country of So the next one is the love for country or pagkakamakabayan. Unity. Unity realizes the importance of the value of unity nation, building and progress. Identify relevant implication when value of unity is either present or absent the community. Equality. Maliin na naman. Cut lang. Equity. Identify the relevance and implication of the value of equality. Equality. Identify the relevance and implication of the value of equality. The law is not meant to curtail freedom. It is meant to ensure that every citizen acts responsibly while exercising freedom. Appreciation of law and the government. Next is patriotism. The Filipino is worth dying for. This was stated by San Benigno Aquino Jr. Patriotism is not a short frenzy. Next one is patriotism. The Filipino is worth dying for. This was stated by San Benigno Aquino Jr. Patriotism is not a short, frenzied outburst of emotion, but the tranquil and steady dedication of a lifetime. Patriotism. The Filipino is worth dying for. This was stated by San Benigno Aquino Jr. Patriotism is not a short, frenzied outburst of emotion, but the tranquil and steady dedication of a lifetime. And this was stated by Adlai F. Stevenson. Appreciate the value of patriotism in the light of our being Filipinos. Identify concrete ways wherein the citizen may practice his sense of patriotism daily. Promotion of common good. Awaken the interest in the promotion and protection of the interest of the common good. So the last one is love for the environment or pagkakamalikasan. So of course, concern for our environment. So to care our environment and to it and so the last one is the love for our environment or pagkakamalikasan. This concern to our environment, of course, to care our environment and nature to care our environment and to its present state of degradation, to identify concrete ways of caring for our environment on a daily basis. So the Constitution of the Philippines, also known as the Saligang Batas ng Pilipinas. So it's the supreme law of the Republic of the Philippines. And that's all. Thank you.
So hi everyone, my name is Princess May Rodriguez. I'm here to explain to you the Bill of Rights, a concept, Article 3 of the Philippines Constitution. Bill of Rights, a concept, is a list of the rights and freedoms that the Constitution of the Philippines protects. It ensures that the government and other people cannot easily violate these rights. It's just like a rule book that tells the government what it cannot do to individuals. So let's move on to the classes of rights. Number one, natural rights. These are rights everyone has just by being human. They are given by God and not be by the government, like the right to live happily. Number two, constitutional rights. These rights are specifically written in the Constitution and protected by it, such as the right to free speech. Number three, statutory rights. These rights are given by laws created by the government and the government can change or remove them. Classification of constitutional rights. Number one, political rights. These are allow people to participate in the government like voting. Number two, civil rights. These protect individuals' freedoms and allow them to live their lives without interference like the right to privacy. Number three, social and economic rights. This ensures a person's well-being and financially security, like the right to education and a fair wage. Number four, rights of the accused. This protect people who are accused of crimes, ensuring they are treated fairly, like the right to a lawyer. State authority and individual freedom. Number one, the role of the state. The government should help individuals and society as a whole. Number two, individual versus group rights. Sometimes what's good for one person might not be good for the group, so there needs to be a balance. Number three, role of judiciary. The court help ensures that both individual and group rights are respected. So let's move on to the key sections of the Bill of Rights. Section number one, due process and equal protection. Due process. The government must follow fair rules before it can take away your life, freedom, or property. Equal protection. The government must treat everyone the same under the law. Section number two, protection against unreasonable searches and seizures. Search warrant. A legal paper from a judge that allows the police to search your property. Warrant of arrest. A legal paper that allows the police to arrest you. Section number 3. Right to privacy. Right of privacy. You have the right to be left alone and keep your personal matters private unless a court says otherwise. Section number 4. Freedom of speech and assembly. Freedom of speech. You can say what you want without fear as long as you don't break the law or harm others. Right of assembly. You can gather with others to discuss public issues and protest peacefully. Right of petition. You can ask the government to fix something you believe is wrong. Section number 5. Religious freedom. Religious freedom can believe in any religion and practice it freely without government interference. Religion. any belief in a higher power or deity that influences how you live your life. So let's move on to the Philippine Constitution. Section number 6. Liberty of abode and travel. Liberty of abode and travel. This means you have the right to choose where to live and to change your home whenever you want as long as you follow the law. You also have the right to travel wherever you want, but this can be limited if it is necessary for the country's safety, health, and other important reasons. Section number 7. Right to information and matters of public concern. Right to information. This means that people have the right to know about public matters. You can access officially government documents and records that affect public decisions. However, there might be some limits based on the law. Section number 8. Right to form associations. Right to form associations. This is the right to join or create groups such as unions or clubs as long as their purposes are legal. You can be part of any groups that helps you achieve your goals. Section number 9. Private property and just compensation. Private property. The government cannot take your private property unless it's for public use, and even then they must pay you fairly for it. Eminent domain. This is the government's power to take private property for public projects, like building roads as long as they pay you fairly. Police power. The government can make laws to protect public health, safety, morals, and welfare. Taxation. The government can charge taxes on people and property to fund public services. So that's all for so that's all about Bill of Rights, ACANSA, Article 3 of the Philippine Constitution. Thank you.
Next, Section 13, Right to Bail. Bail is money or property you give to the court to be released from jail while waiting for your trial. It ensures you will show up for your court dates. The amount of bail should not be excessively high, and even if the government suspends some rights, your right to bail remains unless you are charged with a very serious crime like murder. Next, Section 14, Right to Due Process and Fair Trial. Due process. You cannot be charged with a crime without going through the legal process, which ensures fairness. Presumption of innocence. If you are accused of a crime, you are considered innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to a fair trial where you can defend yourself, know the charges against you, and confront the witnesses. The trial must be conducted fairly, quickly, and in public. Next, Section 15, Writ of Habeas Corpus. This is a legal order that protects people from being detained unlawfully. It requires that anyone who is holding someone in custody must bring the person to court and justify the detention. This writ can only be suspended in extreme situations like invasion or rebellion to protect public safety. Next, Section 16, Right to Speedy Disposition of Cases. Speedy disposition of cases. Everyone has the right to have their legal cases resolved quickly. This ensures that justice is not delayed, as delays in the judicial system can be unfair to those involved. Next, Section 17, Right against self-incrimination. Self-incrimination, you cannot be forced to testify against yourself in court. This protects you from being pressured into confessing to a crime. If you choose to remain silent, it cannot be used against you as evidence of guilt. So next is Section 10, Obligation of Contracts. This means that once you enter into a legal agreement, the law protects your right to have that agreement honored. The government cannot pass laws that make it harder for you to fulfill or enforce contracts. That's it for Section 10. And for Section 11, access to courts and legal assistance. Everyone, regardless of their financial situation, has the right to go to court and get legal help. This ensures that even those who cannot afford a lawyer can still defend their rights. So, rights of the accused in criminal cases. So, we have 18, 18 in rights of the accused in criminal cases. First is the legal assistance. You have the right to a lawyer. Two is right to remain silent. You can refuse to answer questions that could incriminate you. Three is protection from torture. No one can force you to confess by using violence or threats. Four, no secret detention. You cannot be hidden away in secret prisons. Five, right to bail. In most cases, you can pay bail to avoid staying in jail before your trial. Six, due process. You must be treated fairly by the law. Seven, presumption of innocence. You are considered innocent until proven guilty. 8. Right to be heard. You can speak in your defense during your trial. 9. Right to know the charges. You might be informed of the accusations against you. 10. Speedy and public trial. Your trial should be quick and open to the public. 11. Right to face witnesses. You can question to the witnesses against you. 12. Right to present witnesses. You can bring your own witnesses to support your case. 13. Protection from self-incrimination. You cannot be forced to testify against yourself. 14. No punishment for political beliefs. It means that you cannot be jailed for your political opinions. Next is protection from excessive fines. You should not be fined excessively. 16. No cruel punishment. Means you cannot be subjected to harsh or degrading treatment. 17. Death penalty limitations. Means that the death penalty is only for the most severe crimes. Lastly, protection from double jeopardy. Means you cannot be tried twice for the same crime. So let's continue to the next topic, the Philippine Constitution. So let's continue to section 6, liberty of abode and travel. So this means you have the right to choose where to live and to change your home whenever you want, as long as you follow the law. You also have the right to travel whenever you want, but this can be limited if it is necessary for the country's safety, health, or other important reasons. So next is section 7, right to information and matters of public concern. So this means that people have the right to know about public matters. You can access official government documents and records that affect public decisions rather. However, there might be some limits based on the law. So next is section 8, right to form associations. So this is your right to join or create groups such as unions or clubs, as long as their purposes are legal. You can be part of any group that helps you achieve your goals. So next is the section 9, private property and just compensation. So private property, the government cannot take your private property unless it's for public use, and even then, they must pay you fairly for it. So in private property and just compensation, it is contained with three great powers, which is the eminent domain, police power, and taxation. So first is eminent domain. This is the government's power to take private property for public projects like building roads as long as they pay you fairly. Next is police power. The government can make laws to protect public health, safety, morals, and welfare. Lastly, taxation. The government can charge taxes on people and property to fund public services.
Now, I'm going to tackle to you the four right to a speedy disposition of cases. Number one, the above provision upholds the type, holder tradition of speedy justice for as stated in the old dictum. Justice delayed is justice denied. Its express inclusion was in response to the common charge against the perennial delay in the administration of justice which is in the past, has plagued our judicial system. Number two, the right to a speedy disposition of cases can be invoked only after the termination of the trial or hearing in the cases. Number Number two, the right to a speedy disposition of case can be invoked only after termination of the trial or hearing of the case. Number three, under the present Constitution, the Supreme Court, all lower delegate courts, and all the lower court are required to decide or resolve within a certain period of time. Number four, the provision contemplates the disposition of cases involving private interprets only, not only before judicial bodies but also before quasi-judicial. Now, I'm going to simplify to you the definition of the Section 17. No one can be forced to testify against themselves in a way that could lead to their own criminal charges. This right exists for two main reasons. Number one, public policy. Forcing someone to testify could tempt them to lie under oath, which is crime. Number two, humanity. It stops authorities from using pressure or force to get a confession. This right also means that an accused person has the right to remain silent, and their silence cannot be used as a proof or guilt or as an evidence against them. Now I'm going to now Now I'm going to give the short definition or the simplify of the section 18. Number one, no detention for political beliefs. No one can be jailed just because of their political views or goals. This protects people from being locked up as political prisoners. Number two, no forced labor. No one can be forced to work against their will unless it's a punishment or for a crime they have been convicted of. Now, I'm about to give the short definition or the simplify of the section 19, which is the excessive finesse and cruel punishment. The law cannot impose overly harsh finesse or punishment that are cruel, degrading, or inhumane. The death penalty is only allowed for the most serious crimes if Congress decides to impose it. If someone is sentenced to death, it can be reduced to life imprisonment, reclusion perpetua. Additionally, prisoners must be treated humanly without physical or psychological abuse. So, in short definition, in the section 20, imprisonment for debt, you cannot be jailed for failing to pay debt or uphold tax, which is tax charged to individuals. Now I'm going to tackle to you or discuss to you the section 21. No person shall be twice put in jeopardy of punishment for the same offense if an act is punished by a law and ordinance. Conviction or acquittal under either shall constitute a bar to another prosecution for the same act. In short definition, of the section 21 is double jeopardy. You cannot be tried or punished twice for the same offense if you are acquitted or convicted of a crime. You cannot be charged with the same crimes again. Now I'm going to give the 10 duties and responsibilities of Filipino citizens. Number one, respect for a Filipino heritage. Every Filipino should respect and value their culture, history, and tradition. Number two, contributing to the nation. Every Filipino should help in the country's growth development, and nation building. Number 4, loyalty to the country. Every Filipino should be loyal to the Philippines and support these values and goals. Number 5, the most importantly is to follow the law. Every Filipino should obey the Constitution, follow the laws, pay taxes, and cooperate with authorities to maintain peace and order. Number 6, honor national symbols. Filipinos should respect to the Philippines flag, the national anthem, their president, and other national symbols. Number 7, defend the country. Filipinos should protect the country from invaders and ensure the safety and sovereignty of the nation. Number 8, report threats. Every Filipino has a duty to report any plots or plans against the government such as terrorism or rebellion. Number 9, combat corruption. Filipinos should report corrupt official and not participate in bribery or theft from the government. Number 3, engage in work. Filipinos should work hard to ensure a good life for themselves and their family. Number 3, engage in work. Filipinos should work hard to ensure a good life for themselves and their families. Number 4, the number 4 is the loyalty to the country. Every Filipino should be loyal to the Philippines and support the values. Lastly, is the participate in election. Voting is a responsibility that allows Filipinos to express their opinions about the country's leadership. Choosing not to vote is also a choice, but it means giving up the right to influence government decisions. Number 9, combat corruption. Filipinos should report corrupt official and not participate in bribery or theft from the government.
Hi everyone, I am Mark Abdelazad, and then I will explain about United Nations principles on human rights, Universal Declarations of Human Rights. So I will explain it in simplified explanation so that everyone can understand. The Universal Declarations of Human Rights, or UDHR, is a key document created by the United Nations in 1948. It was made by people from different countries and cultures to set a common standard for human rights that everyone in the world should follow. The UN General Assembly, which is group representing many countries, announced these declarations to make sure that all people and countries respect these rights. The goal is for everyone to learn about these rights, respect them, and work together to make sure they are recognized and followed everywhere. So now we will go to articles. Article 1. I will explain it in simplified explanation in article so that you can understand it easily. So, Article 1, equality and freedom. In short, it is all about equality and freedom. All people are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Article 2, no discriminations. Everyone has their same right, no matter the race, religion, or background. Article 3, right to life and security. Everyone has the right to live, be free, and feel safe. Article 4, no slavery. No one should be enslaved or forced to work against their will. Article 5, no torture. No one should be subjected to torture or cruel treatment. Article 6, recognitions by law. Everyone should be recognized as as a persons under the law. Article 7, equality before the law. Everyone has the right to equal protection and treatment under the law. Article 8, right to justice. If your rights are violated, you have the right to seek justice through the courts. Article 9, freedom from arbitrary arbitrary arrest. No one should be arrested or detained without a good reason. Article 10, fair trial. Everyone is entitled to a fair and public trial to defend their rights. Article 11, presumptions of innocence. You are innocent until proven guilty in a fair trial. Article 12, right to privacy. No one should interfere with your privacy, family, home, or reputations. Article 12, right to privacy. No one should interfere your privacy. Sorry. Article 13, freedom of movement. You have the right to move freely within your country and to leave or return to it. Article 14, right to asylum. If you are persecuted, you can seek refuge in another country. Article 15, right to a nationality. Everyone has the right to belong to a country and change their nationality if they choose. That's all. And the next article will explain by Ron.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Taronan Esbanor and I'm here to tackle the continuation of article in a human rights number 16 up to 30. The number 16, right to marry and family. Adults have the right to marry and start a family with equal rights. Either male or female, we have a right to marry. And the number 17, right to own property. You have the right to own property and no one should take it away without a valid reason. You can buy, you can provide what you want, you can own your own things and property. It's your free, your choice. Then number 18, freedom of thoughts and religion. You can think freely, practice any religion or change your belief. Believe what you want to believe. Choose your religion is your choice. The number 17, freedom and expression of opinion and expression. You have the right to express your opinion and share information, your ideas, your opinion, share it to others. It's your choice. The number 21, right to participate in governance. You have the right to take a part in your country government, either directly or by electing representatives. You, as a human, you have a right to choose your leader, to vote, not about the vote buying. Hindi natin yung dapat gawin. We have a right to choose what we want to be a leader of our country. Then, number 22, right to social security. We have a right to basic economy, social and cultural support from society. The social security, we all have the right to affordable housing, medicine, education, and childcare, enough money to live and medical help if we are or old. Workers' right. Number 23, every group has the right to do a job, fair wage their work, and to join trade union. Every worker we have a right. Kumbaga, pawis natin sa sweldo natin. Dapat nararapat yung kung ano pinagpaguran natin, yun din ang maibabayad sa atin. Then, right to rest. You have the right to rest and enjoy free time, including reasonable work hours and holidays. Pwede tayo maglaan din ng oras para magkapag-relax tayo or join an sport to relax yourself para hindi naman tayo ganon ka-stress. Then number 25, right on an adequate standard of living. Food and shelter for all. We have the right to a good life. Mothers, children, people who are old, employed and disabled, and all people have the right to be cared for. That's the number 25. Then we proceed to number 26, right to education. So everyone has the right to free and compulsory elementary education with higher education and available based on a merit. Even a basic education, karapatan ng bawat tao sa atin na makapag-aral para may matutunan din. Yung mga walang kayang mag-aral, include na rin yung LTS. Nandyan sila para makatulong sa atin. The number 2017, right to participate cultural life. When we say right to participate cultural life, you can take part in your life community's cultural activities and benefit from scientific advancement. Pwede mo ilabas kung anong cultural, kung anong activities yung meron kayong alam mo, yung sarili mong alam, sarili mong estilo, hindi ka, wag ka na pumunta o tumingin sa ibang tao, kumbaga copyright. That's the number 28, right of a fair social order. Ito, that's the must be proper order so we can all enjoy rights and freedom in our own country and over the world. Then proceed to 29, responsibility. Responsibility, we have a duty to other people. We should protect their rights and freedoms. You have a responsibilities to your community and your rights to must respect other rights. The number 30, protection from abuse of rights. No one should use their rights to harm others and undermine the principles of United Nations. Kung anong karapatan mo, walang karapatan yung ibang tao na kunin yung karapatan mo. So, that's all. The 30 articles in human rights. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Arian Anthony Cortez, and I will be reporting about the Flag Heraldic Code of the Philippines, also known as the Republic Act Number 8491, provides specific rules for respecting and displaying the Philippine flag and other national symbols. Here's a simplified explanations or simplified rules. Number one is no damage or disrespect. You must not tear, deface, or show disrespect to the flag. This includes not burning it or stepping on it, as doing so is illegal. Number two, no using as decoration. The flag cannot be used as a curtain, tablecloth, or any kind of decoration. It also shouldn't be used on cars or as staff whip for business logos. Number three, no placing under or over objects. The flag should not be placed under a painting, face up on the ground, or in places like clubs or casinos. It must always be displayed high and allowed to hang freely. Number four, no wearing or altering. You should not wear the flag as part of a costume or uniform. Don't add designs, pictures, or text to it. And don't print it on items like handkerchiefs or cushions. 5. No foreign flags. You cannot display foreign flags publicly except in specific places like embassies. Number 6. No ads. The flag cannot be used in advertisements or commercials. Number 7. No displaying in front of alien occupied buildings. Don't display the flag in front of buildings or offices that are occupied by foreigners. This rule helps ensure that the flag is treated with the respect it deserves. Here's a simple explanation about how to show respect. Yeah, the first one was how to not disrespect. Then this is how to show respect for the Philippine national anthem. First one is follow the right music. When the national anthem is played or sung, it should follow the specific musical arrangement by Julian Felipe. It should be played at a 2/4 time signature with a tempo of 100 beats per minute, lasting about 53 seconds. Number 2, sing with pride. When the anthem is played at any public event, everyone should sing it enthusiastically and with respect. Number 3, show respect. Stand up. Everyone should stand up and face the Philippine flag if it's displayed. If not, face the band or conductor. Salute. Place your right palm over your left chest when the anthem starts. Members of the military or scouting group should perform their official salute. Appropriate occasions. The anthem should not be used for fun or entertainment. However, it's okay to play it at international or local competitions. When radio or TV stations start or end their broadcast, before movies or theater performance begin. Number 5, penalties for disrespect. If someone breaks these rules, they can be fined between 5,000 and 20,000, face up to 1 year in jail or both. These guidelines help ensure that the anthem is treated with honor and respect it deserves. Thank you. That's all.